This is somebody that we both followed together for a long time. She was we were trying to find somebody who was migrating from the countryside to the city for a big special issue on paradise in Asia, and we wanted to find somebody who thought that migrating from her village to a factory was going to be like going to paradise. And so we found this young woman who was about 17, and we had this notion that we would just sort of follow her on her maiden voyage from her tiny little farming village to the big city. And it turned out to be kind of complicated because, unlike most migrants, she didn't actually know anybody in the city that she was moving to. She moved to Shenzhen, which was this giant city not far from Hong Kong. And so this was, I think, the first day when we took the overnight bus with her, and we arrived in the city, and she just stood still for about the first, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, because she didn't know where to go. She had never seen a city. She didn't understand how a city worked. She couldn't tell which buildings were, residential and which buildings were commercial. And I think we both kind of felt like we might have done a very bad thing by, we weren't sure if we were going to have to sort of rescue her.
Or you intervene because we're supposed to be journalists and we're supposed to be photographing following her real life. And then, but you were saying, I remember you saying, should we tell her that, if you still go here, she'll, you knew what to do. You actually knew what to do. But you didn't tell her because you wanted to.
We didn't really know what to do either. But anyway, we just followed her as she rolled her suitcase around the city for the first, 4 or 5 hours, and then she eventually found a place to stay, and she found a job, and we went back and visited her a few more times that summer.
We were worried that she was going to end up in the sex trade. Yeah, I remember that.
But she did. She found a good job as a waitress, and actually she still writes to us sometimes. She's now in sales in Western China, and she was visiting Europe for the first time this summer. She has a driver's license now. So that's in the space of less than 10 years.
Yeah.
I think we have to go a little quickly, but these are...
this is a story that showed up in China File. This is another one of those kind of stories where you follow people through their time. So I started there, I was in 2005, and I photographed, and I thought they'd all be gone by next time I went there. It was like a migrant village, but they're still there, 5 years later. And it's
That's the same little boy, right?
Same little boy as he's getting in the tub.
And so with these people, do you feel like there was what was the impact of your photographing them on their lives? Do you feel like there was any impact?
I don't think there was zero impact on them. They were just, they were happy to get photos from me. And this is why they're staying, because they're making New Balance shoes. Before, when I was there, the first time they were making Reeboks, and now they're making New Balances, and they like the life in the city. This is how migrants, this idea of the story, this is how migrants, this is how cities, the populations of cities are growing.